40% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay, since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment Chinda just
Yes.
I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Chisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. In as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started. There's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay.
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time twaje ku Malabo. What's about the first game twale tena wa Senegal. I think very tutasana underrated because even the warm up, you can see the way they are doing warm up. Vale munakati bona na wawina kale no.
It's actually good if you start creating competition in the team. If you don't create competition, then you will have a problem. Who to replace when one is injured?
The names people have been calling me, I accepted them and I will stand them. But what I would prefer being called as a nickname, I would prefer being called Sambalung.
From it, we can't make the Bible fit us and have things that make Esther feel good, and things that Esther doesn't really feel good about, she'll edit out.
We're trying to represent Zambia from a different side of things. We just don't want to be regular, you know what I'm saying? We try to package ourselves to Africa and the world.
Good evening. This is Ubuntu channel, and my name is Chaza, right here on a program called Meet Your Leaders. And tonight we are looking at the future of MMD, Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, and we'll be hosting Honorable Gaston Sichilima right here to actually, get to tell us the status and also the future of apologies for that, technical hitch. Once more, my name is Chaza right here on Meet Your Leaders on Ubuntu channel. And tonight on Meet Your Leaders, we are hosting Honorable Gaston Sichilima to talk about the future of MMD. Honorable Gaston Sichilima is actually coming as a leader of, Operation Save MMD, or Operation Save Movement for Multi-Party Democracy. And we shall be together all the way up to, 21 right here. Honorable Gaston Sichilima, good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Chaza, and good evening, viewers, and all those that are listening to us on any portal that have opened to Ubuntu.
Beautiful. It is definitely our pleasure, hosting you on this program. And to start with, would like to find out, who Honorable Gaston Sichilima is. We want to know more about you, in all aspects, the political aspect, the social aspect, your family, education aspect, and also the professional aspect. Honorable.
Well, a simple guy, born from Mbala, bred and groomed in Mbala. I've got a family, 5 children, 3 girls, 3 boys. I can confirm that all independent. Education-wise, I rose to inline of engineering. I've majored in automobile, aeronautical, and now I would say currently doing farming. I'm in transport. In terms of business-wise, I'm an academician, somewhere running the university, executive director there and chairman. Politically, I've been in MMD from 1991. I come from a background of UNIP, Youth League. I joined the mines, worked for 14 years, and I quit to run my own business. Business-wise, I would say I tested business, learning from my parents who have been in business from way back in 1953. At 18 years, I opened up a mobile studio. This is in music. At 19 into 20, I had my own photographic studio, which I was not trained to. I trained myself. But because my parents wanted me to go back to school, I will use the word chest because my parents believed in education. I went, I've been trained both in Germany and England. I went back to Amsterdam at some point. So I decided to quit. Although now I'm caught up on a lighter moment that when I tried to resign at some point, the then government of UNIP blocked me. You remember there was a social contract that we had signed. But I went on leave. I didn't resign. And I take myself to still be on leave. But now that there's NAPSA, I think I'll find a way to find that I'm out completely from ZCCM. Other than that, like I said, from 1991, I've been a member of MMD. 2001, I attempted to go and contest in Mbala, which I landslide won. I went into a second term.
Looks like my, guest is actually, having a connectivity problem. I must be hopeful that you'll be able to join us right here.
In 2011.
Honorable, we lost you for a minute or so. I would like to take you back from the time you were talking about, NAPSA. That now that is, the issue of NAPSA, then you probably get to see yourself completely exiting.
Well, like I said, it was an lighter moment. I didn't get any benefits from ZCCM. Fear of being taken back to ZCCM because I decided to work on my own businesses. My last town that I worked was the Luansha, still under ZCCM, and I started business transport, buses and trucks in Luansha. But I've worked in all towns where ZCCM was, including Mamba and Nampundwe, Kagwe, and all these other towns. I was in charge with the equipment. I was seconded to Mpelembe drilling at some point, and I left, and I've been on my own.
Okay, you actually have, a very rich CV, I may say, and just by the mere mention of the name, Gaston Sichilima, then if you get to mention it, definitely you need to connect it to big things. And I can attest by, the brief background that you've given about yourself. Now let's get to shift to the issue of, Operation Save MMD. We've heard about it, in the news, social media, and so on and so forth. Kindly tell us more about, this group, this movement. What is it all about? What is its, objective?
One Chaza aspect that I left when I won as a member of parliament, I served as a deputy minister in almost 7 ministries. I've been at education, local government, information, energy, also the vice president, home affairs. Those are some of the ministries that I served, and I must thank Bala people and Zambians as a whole have given me an opportunity. One would describe as we here, politics a dirty game, but I want to say that I came out a solid person that had learned a lot, which helps me to date to interact with people and to interact with businesses, both locally and internationally. So to the Zambian people, bravo, I thank you and may God bless you. Save MMD, Operation Save MMD, came in at a time when people teamed up, realized that the democracy was being not followed as was the way that MMD was actually formed. When we reached a stage, I'll start from the time when we went to the convention. This time we went and voted in the President Mutati that was leading. It was contested. Our colleagues won in court, and Save MMD still continued because at that point it was appealed, and we continued because then President Mutati left. Rafael Nakachinda was voted as National Secretary for administration purpose. We continued for him to be a leader. Rafael left at a time when I would say just before PF lost. He went to PF. So my colleagues, the team that had been following this operation, found it fit that and chose me that I could be leader. When I say choosing, this is not to say that I was voted in. Even now, as I speak, and I want to clarify this, I am not the president. MMD follows the constitution of the party and follows the laws of the country. MMD goes to the convention, and before going to the convention, there is intra-party elections that are done from lower organs to the top. And I can brag here, and I stand to be challenged by anybody, that MMD is the only party that followed the tenets of democracy, that were voted from the branch level to the top. So I want to emphasize that even when I speak, I'm not claiming to have been voted. Otherwise, I'll be doing the same wrong that has been challenged, that we need to go to the convention, and definitely by doing the intra-party elections. So this is how Save MMD has continued, and even now we are moving in to see that we go back to the drawing board, that of intra-party elections to the top. I'm talking about MMD. You've asked a very valid question. MMD now, as I speak to you, we are one. At some point, we had the hope for MMD, which definitely is illegal. It wasn't known, but I can brag here and say that we are now speaking as one. The other thing that people must actually know, when is MMD, we have been called all sorts of names. You find that, you know, by MMD Badilia, they are in this government, by MMD Badilia, in this party. You find that even our colleagues, for instance, in PF, they are mentioning of MMD. They are not mentioning of MMD us here, they are mentioning MMD, those that either were with us and they are with them. Those are their democratic right on an individual basis and they have gone to join. So this MMD we are talking about, we are talking as one. I can give one example. Those that were in Hope MMD are now working with us. I can mention, for instance, Mr. Maliti, who was the chairman then, and he came to understand what we are talking about as Operation MMD. He spoke about the tenure of office of the president. He spoke about the membership. He spoke about the immunity of anybody that was being suspended, because that was the game of the yesteryear. Now we are talking as one. Reverend Nawa has come in to come and talk about the end of the tenure, and that is now behind us. So all now what we are looking at is working forward to go back to intra-party, do the elections on the lower organs, and we go up to the convention. And the people are now ready to go and choose their own leader. I'm not segregating anybody as I speak. I'm speaking collectively that we have all now decided we need to go to the convention. And anybody is eligible to be the president. Nobody is going to be bad. Nobody is going to be swapped. But one thing that I can take is to lecture the people that what we need to do there is intra-party elections that we need to rise to come to the convention level.
All right, Honorable, you speak as though you are speaking, on behalf of, the party itself, MMD. Who or what gives you the mandate to do so?
Number one, I'm a member. A member that I can even take you back, Mr. Chaza. There was even a time I will use the word I, which I don't like, because everything is collective. If you want to be a leader, you need to take people along. I sat down with my other colleagues and we petitioned the 2021 that this was not right. We petitioned the Registrar of Society. Although the Registrar of Society misguided itself, forgetting about the intra-party elections that the MMD is made of, and called for the convention. And our colleagues went to the convention, which has since been stopped by way of going to court, and those matters I don't want to discuss in them because those are in actually court. What I'm talking about now is anybody that really believes in democracy. This is the time that we need to go to the convention. And I want to repeat, anybody that is going to be voted from there is the one that we are going to support. I wish I can even mention names, but I can tell you MMD is not short of leaders. Anybody that is going to emerge a leader from the convention that the lower organs are going to so decide to choose, who will turn around and support that particular person. The issue that we've had is definitely into the past. As I speak to you, I'm not speaking just Operation MMD that was known to be a group that was fighting the other group or the group. Now we are talking as one. Even as I speak to you, even when you are advertising this, people are following, and those that are following under MMD are under one group. Basically, even when we strategize to have the meeting, any other group that is under MMD, they are aware. There's nothing like having the meetings under the table or hiding anywhere. Openly, we are discussing. So I can also take this advantage of people that quickly goes to rush to start calling names. Sichilima that he's been suspended. He has been what? That is past. And I want to call for all members that worth really a pinch of salt. We are talking about democracy now. I don't want to talk about personalities. Personalities, maybe it comes in. MMD has changed the leaders. Some have lost at national. Some, unfortunately, lost by the work.
Right, my guest has, frozen there, both in voice and picture. I am hoping that he gets to be, reconnected right here. Just in case you are just joining us, you are viewing or following Meet Your Leaders. And tonight, I'm talking to, the leader of Operation Save MMD, who happens to be Honorable Gaston Sichilima. And we are discussing the future of MMD. And just in case you'd like to participate by sending us a message, you can definitely get to do that by dropping us a comment in the comment section. Then we'll be able to read out your contribution or your question. In case you'd like to join us live on set, you can simply get to click on the link that we have shared in the comment section. Then you come live both in audio and video right here, so that you can get to add your contribution or your question to the topic that we do have at hand, and all being directed to Honorable Gaston Sichilima. And right now he's been, completely disconnected. I am hoping that soon he'll be able to be reconnected right here. And in case you're watching this program for your very first time, would like to mention that this program comes your way every Wednesday at 20 hours Zambian time. That is 8 p.m. and it runs up to 21 hours or 9 p.m. right the Zambian time. My name is Chaza right here, and in case you'd like to know even more some of the programs that we do have right here, we cater, all sorts of programs, including, debate time or debating politics on, Tuesday evening. Not forgetting Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Thursday we have, a contemporary kind of a program which, is specifically designed for 18 years and over. That is a program that, most often is having topics to do with, sex and marriage. So make a date and join in as we get to present to you that program on Friday. Those of you that love sports, talking football and so on and so forth, Friday evening is actually yours and all yours in terms of sports. On Saturday, we do have, stories or headlines of the week. We get to look at, those stories and headlines that, could have dominated in that particular week. Then we do have reactions from the panelists that we hold on the program. And the viewers are also invited to participate, getting to add their voices on the program called Point of View. And we have also gospel time, on Sunday, where we get, to look at the Word of God, sharing the Word of God, testimonies, and so on and so forth. And, Sunday being dominantly a day of worship. Much of it is dedicated, to worship and so on and so forth. For now, let us get to break for a commercial, as I'm hoping that on the other side, the guest would have come in.
Globally, 85% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay. Since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment in the chat.
Yes. I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
no, let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Chisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. And as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started. There's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay.
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time twaje ku Malabo. Kwa sababu
Welcome back to the program. And before we went for a break, we were actually, having our guest away from the set, but he's right back with us, and it's really a pleasure. Honorable, welcome back, and it's good to have you back. Unfortunately, we had lost you to connectivity.
Thank you very much. I think it must have been either Wi-Fi, because the power was disrupted. By the time the switching genset, it came back again.
Ah, beautiful. I don't know if because you had not exhausted your point that time, maybe I can give you a minute to exhaust your point before we move on to the next question.
Okay, maybe you could ask. The whole thing that I want to share with the Zambians, that MMD right now, because of this fight of democracy, we just want things to be done correctly, and we get back to MMD. I want to also put on record that we are independent, because in the case of some people are saying we are sponsored by PF, we are not under PF, we are independent. And I want to emphasize that independent, we are on our own, and we are not in any alliance with anybody.
So as we stand, I think from that, I have two questions there. You talked about the convention itself, and you are saying MMD is still intact. So before the convention, as we stand today, who is the leader of the party? Who is the party president? What's the status like as regards the leader of MMD? And I would like to couple it up with this other question. Since you have talked about the convention, and you have indicated MMD is not short of leaders. What about yourself? Do you have any intention, or are you contesting in the forthcoming, convention?
You've asked one line, it's a twofold question. You ask me personally, the way I believe in it. You don't impose yourself to lead others. You let the people choose you and become a leader. You can sell yourself, but if the people so decides not to. In answering myself, I want to tell you I have no ambition. But if the people turn around and say they would want me to be a leader, I'm available. Just like Reverend Nawa is available, just like Malichi is available, and many others.
Okay.
So right now, when you ask about the leader, and this is the issue that we are talking about, you cannot have anybody to be called a leader now when the leader cannot put people together. And we are talking about these issues of tenure, we're talking about the factions and whatever. And I've told you today, we have no factions as it is. So we are going to look for a leader. People are going to look for a leader. If we go in those lines of just putting yourself there as a leader, I can also claim to be popular. But that's the wrong way. Because then I'm going to sit here and start choosing who is the national secretary, who is the treasurer, who is the provincial chairman, who is the... No, we need intra-party to go back to what MMD stands for and what it was started for. We go back to intra-party elections. Anybody that comes in wants to be a leader, so be it. Come together. We go there. Even if I'm not, for instance, going to be a delegate, others will go there to go and choose the leaders. Even if Sichilima is not there, definitely MMD is going to come out with a leader.
All right. Your intention, or the bedrock on which, the objective of, Operation Save MMD was built, I presume, was or is to save MMD. considering that you have indicated that MMD is still alive and kicking, from whom then, or from what, are you intending to save MMD?
Well, we are trying to save MMD. You have pushed me against the corner. Everybody, and I'm sure Zambians have seen, we had the leader in the name of Pastor Neva Simumba, which I don't even want to go back to it, because we'll be bringing him into issues that we are trying to clean here. Like I'm saying, we are now working as one. Even those people that had been working with him are with us. Whatever we are planning with them. So we are saying MMD belongs to the people. And mind you, MMD is the only party that is national. MMD is not owned by Sichilima, it's not owned by anybody. It is owned by the people. Maybe one interesting thing you'd ask, when you say strength, I'm talking with the strength from the people. We have data. We are talking data. Go to any corner of this country, you find the MMD. And the structures are intact. The problem that they are crying for is the leadership. And that's why, to answer you, I don't want to impose myself to say, look, I'm a leader of nationwide. No, the members will go to intra-party, go and choose the branches. The branches will choose the constituencies, and they will end up, or rather, we will end up at a convention. I can assure you, here, like I called, I don't want anybody to be calling names. We are one, and anybody is eligible. And the time that will be going to the convention, you won't hear anybody pointing a finger at anybody. And that's what we are fighting for.
Right. We've heard from the onlookers that, MMD has been nosediving. And right now, it is almost dead. And some are saying MMD has had a share. Why not just quit as the situation is? And even trying to fight and bring it back, is it out of power, hunger, or what is really the drive?
Mr. Chaza, when you say it's power hungry and MMD has done its part, on one side, you could be right. But if MMD has had its share, when MMD lost power, we had the PF. Are you telling me there are no people that served under MMD and they worked with PF as ministers, as the PSCs, as district commissioners? We now have UPND. Are you telling me there are no people that are from MMD? So if MMD is not diving and is finished, then even the contribution of those people that were trained, I'll use the word trained, probably that is too strong. Those were groomed in MMD are serving. And some of them have served from UNIP to date. Look around the new PND, you find some of them have served in all these governments, but particularly MMD. That's why MMD in 1991, people teamed up, Zambians, to bring in multi-party democracy. I can even jump historically because people, we forget easily. If you ask me and an individual, the most democratic person that we even need to honor maybe 100 times is that of Mwanga Nkumbula, who turned around and said, we are fighting for the same cause. And they teamed up. Hence, we had UNIP from ANC. For me, is the most democratic person. Now, if you say we hang up and give up, that's not being democratic. This is a game of numbers. When PF wins, give them power. UPND is there, whether I want it or not. I'm not going to rise today and say UPND is not the government today. The people are the ones that have put them there. But that's when you lose the elections, that it stop you from participating in contributing to your own country, our mother Zambia. And this is what we are saying. Painfully so, because you have asked me. For past few years, we have sat down and the contribution to Mother Zambia in terms of development is basically zero, because it is on personality is to what I'm going to get. And even now looking for the jobs to go and fit in there, forgetting, if you are in MMD today, fight to reorganize your party. Because I can even tell you today, if I sit here and I start, we're talking about checks and balances. If I start telling New Dawn and say they are doing this wrong, they are doing this wrong, why am I going to quench the fire in next door neighbor's house and not to quench the fire in my own house? First, we need to get it organized. Then the Zambians will give us respect. When we are contributing in terms of criticizing or in terms of advisory, it will make sense. You cannot go and advise somebody when your house is burning. It's not correct. So all we are saying is we want MMD to be intact. And when you ask that question of saying nose diving and it's gone, even as I speak to you, my son Tazana, who I was holding on my shoulders in 1991, today is 28 years old. You mean my son cannot be a leader, either in MMD or in any of the parties? Because I can brag even as I speak to you. Some of my nephews are in UPND. Some of my nephews are in PF. Some are in the Socialist Party. Never mind my indices. Democracy is an ongoing thing. If I so decide today, even after this interview, and say, I'm going to form my own party, so be it. Or I'm going to join another party, so be it. Like I've said, we had the leaders in this MMD who left, and honorably me who have seen up to this end, I've shook hands. Bye-bye, Honorable Mtati, wish you all the best. He's my brother, we are talking. Even after this, I can pick up the phone and call him. Rafael Nakachinda came in, very brilliant young man. He left us. We shook hands. Even tomorrow, I can call him. That's what democracy is supposed to be. It's not creating enmity. Some of the colleagues that are UP today, I shared with them when we were in the parliament. Some of them could even jump, opposition could even jump in my official government vehicle. That's then when we had leaders like President Mwanawasa, may he so rest in peace, Lupia was and Banda, who would even call them to State House, who would even go to ask for an advice. And that's the MMD that we are talking about. Now, when we reach this stage where we cannot even contribute, I can tell you, even now when I sit down, I want to advise President HH this and this. The first thing you will look at me and say, is this guy really serious? What is happening? Where is he coming from? But if we are organized, I can tell you, not that I'm looking for the job, I can tell you, if we are organized and for some reason Sichilima is leading this group, tomorrow the President HH will come and sit down at a cup of coffee. How did you deal with this? I'm talking about a vast experience, me personally, that I earned from government. These are things that we're supposed to put on the table. MMD made mistakes at the time of government. MMD achieved a lot of things. Some of the things that we are talking about now, peace, whatever, MMD played a role. Look at the media. I was at Ministry of Information. How many media houses did we open? I went physically sometimes to even protect the journalists. That's a kind of freedom, that's a kind of democracy that we want. But the issue of, for instance, insulting one another, you insult Sichilima from morning to sunset, it won't help you. But if you're democratic, you look at democratically to help our country to develop. Even now, as we are talking today, there will be other presidents that are going to come in. Who knows, it could be MMD. And it's very possible, because I can tell you, the structures are intact. And I want to say this, Mr. Chaza, that members in MMD have refused to go to any political parties. Tomorrow, come and tell me there is one that is defecting from MMD to join any other political parties. What is it that MMD members haven't seen? But I'm not threatening and I'm not stopping them. They have all their democratic right. Maybe let me let the cat out. If we don't organize ourselves to contribute to our mother Zambia, generation is changing. I've talked about my own son who has grown and can be a leader, my nephews, my grandchildren. Some of my nephews will come in and say, Badal, Kamwamba, what is actually happening in MMD? Because I have nephews all over. My house is like United Nations, if not all 73 tribes, because I was blessed to have sisters that are married to all these. I have Kalubares, I have these Easterners. It's time now that they need to rise. When we are fighting this, I'm not fighting for my own. I'm fighting for the next generation, the youths. And the youth also, when I tell them, let me take this advantage. When we are talking about MMD, don't sit back. How old was I when I was a minister? Very young, vibrant, and handsome. Now I'm sure you can see mountains in the head. What we are fighting for is for the youth to come and take over leadership. Mind you, people are afraid to say, even President HH would not be there forever. Time is going to come in when he will say, I've done my part. Others will come in to lead. And that's why we are challenging. When I'm saying youths, I'm not saying a political party. I'm talking about youths, men and women. My father believed in no woman, in no man. He would give keys to anybody with a tractor to go and drive. And in fact, I can even hear disclose to tell you that women are even better leaders than some of us men. So women, rise up, come and take leadership. MMD is calling you. Even as I speak, some are even agreeing with me. I said, okay, yes, we have a vibrant president in our speaking. And when she speaks that of a leader that is can take a MMD into higher heights.
You are the only person.
Sorry?
I'm saying, oh, sorry to cut you short. Maybe finish your point first.
Yes, I was saying this is also the time my sisters, if not some of them my daughters, come and take leadership. One of it that you have exhibited, many we failed to go to World Cup. Polo girls, I've taken us to World Cup. Even in the politics, it can happen. Don't sit back. They believe of saying every successful man is a successful woman. No, you can also be successful, and there can be a man behind you. If you don't just sit back and watch a woman leading. What are you waiting for? In MMD, we are very open-minded. I want to take advantage, Chaza, of all the leaders from branch to ever participated in MMD. They have done their part, including myself. It's time to give the baton. And this is why we are fighting. My emphasis and the emphasis of my colleagues, even before coming on this interview, we had to exchange notes, is that of MMD going to the convention with no hatred, with no mudslinging. When we go to the convention and come out, we'll come out more united than we are.
All right, Honorable. I think you are the right person that can tell us, about this issue, because MMD has been, been known, as an icon for democracy, or the father of democracy. And you've been around from 1991, or even probably before 1991. Up to now, you have, seen your party presidents, that have become, Republican presidents, and up to now. What went wrong? Tell us the history, under these different, regimes or leaderships. What went wrong, as regards MMD, for us to be where we are right now?
First and foremost, Chaza, power is in the people. I will start with the current leadership, not in MMD. the current leadership respect the people's will. We may have where we are coming from, forgot about the grassroots. When I say grassroots, it's the people. It's not that we are not advised. We were advised. But maybe we didn't listen. Now, because we have reflected, and that's why we are saying we need to get organized. Be a team that is able to advise, for instance, like those that are in government, be able to advise our colleagues, those in other political parties. Because I can tell you, the question that you have asked where we went wrong is just simply not listening from the people. And we saw it. When we won with the President Mwanawasa, may he so rest in peace. Second term was not an easy thing. But if you remember, on his inauguration when we won second term, he said, now I know what the people want. And that time, from that time up to the time we lost him, we had unprecedented development. And this is a president who could even hear from Kabusha, who could hear from any media of the corner, who could hear from anyone. Me particularly, I even earned the name of senior deputy minister. He would call me, where are you in parliament? Yes. Did you hear what Hamdud was debating about? Yes. Did you hear Honorable Shakarima talking about education? What have you done about your University of Zambia? I want the verbatim to come and see what we can do. He would even send me, get this and go and give a particular ministry. Lucky enough, I was the Minister of Education. We haven't done anything for University of Zambia. Hence, some of those hostels done, and many others. Levy Mwanawasa Bridge, Levy Mall. Talk about the roads, talk about schools. In my constituency, for instance, at the time I was living, there was no thatched school. He sent me to Shangombo. I took Honorable Mubika. I went to Kalabo. When Mr. Rupia came in, we continued, and he said, I'm not going to change anything. We saw the reserves in dollars. But of course, when we were being advised by economists about the reserves that we had, that we could put in maybe in the infrastructure and all that, we lost it. And we lost it to President Sata, in this case, a PF. But I'll bring you back. Even when Mr. Sata won, he realized he had no experienced members of parliament to appoint as ministers. He went back to MMD. He picked some of them. To date. So anybody who's wishing for MMD to die and completely die, like some parties were left by some of these same so-called leaders who are coming to lead us, they left their parties, came to MMD, and they want MMD to die. We are not doing any service to this country. Just like I wouldn't wish UPND to die as a party. Just like I wouldn't wish PF to die, or indeed any other party. If the people so wish to maintain their parties, so be it, so that democratically we can participate. This person that is speaking to you, when I was voted in the convention that we ended up losing, I produced the 3 members of parliament in whatever difficulties we had, and they contributed in parliament. So all I'm saying is we didn't listen from the people. At some point we lost it, we gained, but I will tell you today, those that have gone to the line thought of MMD going forward, we are implementing and it is working. But my wish is that we remain organized. I can tell you, I don't have to be the president in order to advise the ruling government, or indeed any that may come to be a ruling government. But if I'm coming from an organization that is organized, I'll be thought of and said, oh, Honorable Sichilima served in such and such a ministry under MMD. Not currently. It's very unlikely. I want to emphasize, we need to put the house in order in MMD, and that's why we are fighting. I can even bring now wings of government or departments of government, in this case, Registrar of Societies. MMD, we have reached this. We have written letters and letters for Registrar of Societies to guide us by law, that law is followed and be guided. We have ECZ that can go and monitor these elections. And nobody is going to be segregated. We will come back united.
Honorable.
I can tell you, but I can tell you, people being what it is, even as I speak to you, others are looking at, even when the cloth is white, are looking at black. Me, who has been in MMD from 1991, because most of my colleagues that are there and calling themselves leaders, they were not even there, some of MMD. For information, I would even say Akashama Tabukisa would have been the president, if not Arthur Winner. Would have been the president. But even when they were chairman, were they presidents? That's what they call leadership. Akashama to risk, not just his life, this even his family, to bring back multipartism. And this is what we are saying. We save up to a certain level. Zambian people supported me. I ended up being a minister. What more do I want? We are saying.
Honorable, sorry to cut you short. I followed you very well, and it appears you did not have any problem, or you have not highlighted any problem in the past leadership apart from the current one. And we do understand that it is alleged that you were repugnant to the leadership, and as a result you were actually suspended, or rather expelled from the party. Was the expulsion any meritorious? If not, are you bitter about it?
I want to put it on the record, Mr. Chaza. I've never been expelled from the time that I joined MMD from 1991. I've never been expelled. Then secondly, you're talking about the leadership. The leadership, all of them from 1991 up to Mr. Rupia Banda, all the presidents and the leaders of NEC had gone to go through elections. All of them were elected. The current leadership, none has been elected. Not even going to the convention. But that is a story for another day that we don't even want. But I'm sure the message is clear. Only up to Rupia Banda that we went to the convention. The rest I either picked from the church or from certain club, or maybe he's a friend, or he was carrying my bag nicely, or I wake up. How can you have 5 national secretaries in 3 years? Is that a political party? And yet it has a constitution that it follows. Breaching the constitution of a political party in itself is failure. What if you become the national president? You go now to touch even the constitution of the public and amend it. So like I'm saying, that's a story for another day. We are at another level where I'm saying we are working as one. So pointing a finger again to go, we definitely go back. What I am saying is, it's time to say, bye-bye, you've done your part, and now we are bringing in this leader, and others will actually now come in. That's the whole cry of the members out there. And I can tell you and disclose to you, there are many people that are waiting for the leadership, whichever leadership is going to be in MMD, and you see how many people that will be flocking. It's not just about advising. it's also about working with other people. If I stand up today and say, I'm giving an example, I want to go and work with UPND, I'll go as an individual. Like is the case we are hearing in some circles, some people want the job in there. They'll go as an individual. What value are you taking there? But if you go united and it's a team, even your advice to whoever you so decided to go and work with, it will be more valuable than valuing as an individual. MMD is not owned by any person. I want to repeat that. MMD has national character. Even at personal level, if I start off now, I go to Mongo. Whether I have money to go and sleep in anyone's hotel, I can go and sleep in someone's house. Go to any corner. I can go to Mumfumbwe today. I can go and sleep in someone's house who is MMD member. So the leadership is very, very important. And in this case, a leader who is worth thought is the one that goes to the people. Like I'm being supported by my colleagues. We are doing consultative meetings. We're not just seated. And soon there will be a bigger consultative meeting. Not that I'll call the meeting as a president to come and start choosing national secretary, now your provincial chair lady. No, consultative meaning what you have done, for instance, like now, what is the way forward of MMD? Because if convention, rather elections at the branch level is called today, we end up with the people that have no meaning in MMD. So we need to go to the grassroots, those that are still holding on to MMD, who are saying we're not going anywhere. There have been parties going around in provinces, district, villages. When they find MMD, I said, oh, we are waiting for the leader that's going to lead MMD. I tell you, when we come and bring in leaders, and you see people going and saying bye-bye, MMD will do another score of sending off someone properly out of leadership, others come in.
Honorable, I can see that, MMD is looking forward, to having Moses to take them back or take them to the promised land. And this is so by the long-awaited convention that you have so much talked about. When is this convention?
First, I would say that's a correct perception. But don't forget, Joshua needs to be in between. And in between is not an individual. There must be Joshua in between in terms of collective. If you ask me now, and somebody came in and said, okay, fine, let's sit it down. We have heard enough of this. Let's go to the convention. I'll take even the backstage. Like I said, I want now the young generation to actually come in and say, we are taking leadership. We are tired of you, all the politicians. I don't want to use the word recycled, because recycled, definitely there's wisdom in them as well. So, so here we're looking at Joshua, who is going to collectively move in and come up with the Moses. So this convention is in the hands of the people. Like I said, soon there will be a consultative meeting. And the consultative meeting, the way MMD works, there's nothing sinister about it. There's nothing that we are hiding. As I speak to you, there's what you can call shadow leadership. They'll meet, strategize. How do we reach out? We are in Lusaka here. Meet district officials, meet constituencies officials in Lusaka. Then we are going to go into Kabwe. We are going to go into Eastern Province. We are going to go into Mongo. We are going to go into Southern Province. And there we go and identify the people that are going to go to the grassroots. In short, what we are saying is electoral courage needs to be done. From grassroots, They are the people that are going to choose leaders on the top. It's not still my here, even I can speak the loudest. It's not me to go and say, now I'm choosing this one to be the president in the name of anointing. There's no anointing in MMD. There is just elections.
All right, Honorable, it's been a great time. And time is not our best ally. I wish we could go on. There could be some aspects that we have not touched. In 2 minutes' time, I let you to pour out your heart.
I mentioned to talk about the leaders. First, I want to start by saying thanks to the Zambians that MMD were still there. As much as you are angered, we keep doing shadow boxing. I want to call to my fellow would-be leaders to come and lead this MMD. We have seen where we are coming from, and we should not take ourselves to it. Yes, in some cases, death being what it is, robbed us leaders that we could have been way out of this. Assuming Arabi had finished his term, assuming the late Mwanawas had finished his term, I don't think we would have been in this kind of arrangement. May their souls rest in peace. Those that are with us, let's open up our eyes. I'm not ashamed to be called by anybody and tell me, sit down. I'm saying me, myself, I'm putting myself on the chopping board, that I could be told, can you sit down, take MMD this direction? And I'll go back to my colleagues when I'm saying collective. Even as I speak, I'm not speaking just something out of my myself alone. It's collectively so. All members countrywide are waiting for leadership. No name calling. Let's just go out there, hug each other, and move forward to do the right thing, which is elections, which MMD believes in. Lastly, I can use this opportunity because we have written so many letters to registrar of societies. On one hand, they are key to make clubs, which MMD is part, follow the laws. And following the laws, the registrar of societies is supposed to come in. You, my children, what is happening? Because you cannot even conduct elections, we're going to call Electoral Commission of Zambia. They have those powers. And let you have these elections. Except the elections, we must have intra-party elections. And that's the democracy that MMD are known for. Otherwise, thank you very much. May God bless Zambians, Mother Zambia, MMD. We are there. We are not saying we form government tomorrow. We are saying, let's go to the convention. The issue of forming government comes in where after. You cannot go and form government when you are disoriented. Maybe as I speak tonight, those who have heard will hear me. I thank you and may God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Honorable Gaston Sichilima. We greatly appreciate, for according us this time right on this program. And just like indicated, we did not exhaust everything. Time has actually put us to a limit. We are looking forward to even having you even next time, sir.
Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you so much to the viewers out there. This has been Meet Your Leaders on Ubuntu channel. My name is Chaza, and this program comes your way every Wednesday. Do make a date with us. And tonight, we were looking at the future of MMD right here, hosting Honorable Gaston Sichilima, Operation Save MMD leader. Till then, God bless you all.